Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thank you so much for stopping by bright and early here at Walker Farm.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Cold.
So we have a fire going, but I have to go out and put wood on early in the morning, and right as soon as I get up I try to, because it's down to just coals at that point. So I got my hoodie on and I wasn't taking it off once I put it on.
And it's not that it's cold in here, it's just cold time of the year. So
Yes, it's cold outside, like 20 something degrees, super cold. And
well, our northern friends will say that's not cold.
Yeah, so for Oklahoma, that's pretty cold for us. And then we get down to like 0 later on, but
And you know how they say, like in Arizona, New Mexico, we have a dry heat. It's different. We have a wet cold. It's different. It's different than that -15 that y'all don't think's cold.
wet cold. There you go. You've heard it here first. At Walker Farm, it's a wet cold. Not just, it's a bitter wet cold.
It's the wind that gets me too. It's been so windy. Not just 25, 30 degrees, but windy.
Yes, and the kids have not been able to go outside a ton because of that. They have been having to do things inside, finding things because of the cold wind.
Because they've had a little bit of runny nose and cough and things, and so we're not letting them out in the wind even more for it to get worse. So they're on the up and up with that. So they've been going out a little more, but I keep telling them, if you stay out there very long, you're going to be coughing again.
Well, and Ranger and Mazzy both right now, and Ransom, are all about shooting those new bows.
Yeah.
So they're wanting to shoot their new bow and arrows, and they can't do it when there's like a 20-mile-an-hour wind. They go catch that arrow and throw it to the side of my tire on my truck or something.
Mazzy and Ransom's big thing has been roller skating in the house.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have porcelain tile floors throughout the house and kind of big open spaces, and so they can skate around the house and get their energy out.
Yeah. So we're doing good here at Walker Farm, but it is like a recovery mode after all the holidays. The kids are getting back to school, so everybody's kind of a zombie because they were in this mode of...
We were like in vacation.
Yeah, sleeping in, vacation, just do whatever all day mode. And now it's structure. We've got to get to school at a certain time. I got to get to work, got to get all the stuff done. So got to get chores done. It's starting to get more daylight. We've had the shortest day of the year, so we're gaining daylight every day now. And we will be until we hit time change, and we'll gain an hour at once. Well, we already know about time change.
Oh, jeez.
We're not going to talk about that. So what we do want to talk about, though, is a lot of questions you guys have been asking off and on. Almost every video, I'd say we get at least one comment. Have we found Luca yet? And unfortunately, we don't have good news for you. Luca is still missing in action.
We don't have horrible news.
We don't have bad news.
Because we haven't found him, just deceased or whatever you want to say. So when I went out on the four-wheeler that day and looked around and went to neighbors, things like that, I was hoping to didn't want to find him laying somewhere. So for me, there's hope in the fact that I didn't find him. I looked and looked and looked and I didn't find him. There's hope for Mazzy, because Sue, our cat who you guys see quite often, who loves the camera, she went missing 2 years ago for 3 months.
Yeah.
And she had been spayed.
Just like this, just out of the blue.
Yeah,
she was gone.
And it was about when it turned cold. It was about the time when it turned cold. And a lot of people were like, well, she should have been spayed. Well, she was. But she was super friendly like Luca. And if you had the door open, she would come inside. So I think with her, she went to one of the neighbors and they let her in and she just stayed a while. And then Gary went out to put a log on the fire before the kids went to bed. And Sue was out there one day.
You could have heard me scream from across the lake. And the lake's like 8 miles from here. I was like, Sue, you're back.
And
I was so happy to see Sue.
We were like, what did he say? And then he brought her in the house. Pets are not allowed in our house. And Gary brought Sue in because it was
I brought her in to show everybody.
Celebration.
I brought her in to show everybody. And our pets eat a lot of like cow manure and other like farm animal droppings. So that's why they don't come in the house. But I brought her in And I showed her to everybody. Nobody could believe it.
And she was fat and happy. She wasn't skinny like she had been out just starving or anything. She was fat and happy. That's what makes me think she was in someone's house.
She was like the prodigal cat. Like if I would have had a pet tuna fish over in the stock tank, I would have brought that fat tuna out. I would have diced it up and said, Sue, we're going to eat.
But everyone was excited. And she was fine, and she's never left again. So Mazzy has that hope. It took her a little bit to realize Luca wasn't here because our cats just don't hang out on the back porch all the time. They go out in the field, they go in the hay bales. We see them coming and going. And it had gotten really cold, so Mazzy hadn't been outside as much as she had been. So anyway, it took her a little bit, and she was like, "Wait a second, I haven't seen Luca in a while." So she's doing okay with it. Because she has that hope that Sue was gone for 3 months and she came back.
Yeah, Mazzy vividly remembers that, which I was probably screaming like a lunatic, so she stuck out to her brain. But so the big question is, what now? What are we gonna do? We've had Luca, we got Luca because Sue's getting older. She's not a spring chicken by any means.
She was older when we got her.
She was a few years old when we got her, and that was probably like 5 years ago or about 4 years ago. And I don't know how long cats live. You guys probably know. You know, like 12, 15 years. It all depends on their life. I would say Sue being an outside cat, and she's probably not had the most pampered life, but she's a healthy cat. She goes to the vet. She gets checked out. But we got Luca because we knew that one day something might happen to Sue, and so we thought Luca could learn the ropes. He could learn to stay around the house like Sue does. He could learn to get mice. He could learn...
Because remember, other than the inside the electric duck fence, or inside the electric fence where the ducks were, we don't have a mice problem. We don't have mice. If we did, I'd burn the place down. So Sue has done her job. You don't like them either.
Will you let me know before you do? I want to get out.
Sue has done her job, and Luca was doing a great job too. So our plan was to have 2 go-getters at the same time, and for sure have one in case something was to happen.
So now what? Do we start looking for another cat? At some point? What point? At what point?
So what I think we should do is get a little bit older of a cat like we did with Sue. Instead of getting a small cat, if you guys remember with Luca, he was just a kitten. He was small. We had to get JoJo used to him. And we didn't have to do that with Sue because she was a more mature cat and she got after Joe when Joe would get too close and things. Joe and her sleep together out there. Like, they're BFFs. But when Luca got here, Joe was like, "New animal, are you supposed to be here? Am I supposed to guard you? What am I supposed to do?" So we had to let them get used to each other and let Luca get a little older so that if Joe got a little too close or showed those teeth, he could smack him.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing about an older cat, mainly because those really young little cats like to crawl up in your engine,
Yes.
like engine well, and just to stay warm. Sue just gets on my hood every time, Sue. But yeah, they like to climb up there and then they go off on the trip. And Luca wasn't completely out of that stage. I mean, Luca was a little bit because most of the time he didn't do that. But every once in a while, he would climb up in there. And it was starting to get cold. So that's another possibility. Luca could be
True.
miles and miles away because the first stop sign you roll to, I'm getting out of here. This is crazy ladies in this minivan. So we don't know. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know when to get.
He was a good cat, though.
He was.
We've had other kittens that didn't work out because they were mean to the kids or different stuff. He was a good cat, and he was beautiful. And people say rare. I don't know.
He had just got through that kitty stage where he was attacking stuff, and he was really calming down. And hopefully, he made somebody a great pet because I don't want anything bad to happen to him. But when you don't know, you don't know, and that's where we're at.
I keep thinking I'm going to walk out on the back porch and he's going to be there. You think I'm crazy?
It's possible, and that's the other thing. So what if we do go get another cat, right? Not right now, but say when spring gets here, or summer. The beginning of summer is a good time because Cassie and the kids are home a lot and can kind of get a cat to adjust. But what if we go get one in like May, a new cat at the shelter?
If he's not here by May.
And then July comes around. Oh, Luca comes back. I guess we have 3 cats at that point.
I think if he's going to come back, he'll come back when it starts warming up or right before.
Well, whenever he comes back, I'm going to find some tuna fish and make sure and give it to him because I miss him. Do you miss him?
Yeah.
Poor Luca.
I'm not a cat person, but
Luca,
I liked him.
If you're out there, come on home, buddy. Okay. Do you miss him?
Yeah, I miss him.
So we need to move on before we start crying. Cassie will get emotional. It's happened before. Not very often, but she will get emotional. So as far as catching up with the walkers, what's going on here on the farm, we have been staying up with chores, first of all. It takes so much time, like I say so much, like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. But when you have 30 minutes to an hour of daylight every evening, that's what you do. And then on the weekends, Ranger has been having a basketball game. We've been trying to share some of the video with you on that.
This Saturday is our first archery shoot.
Coach Walker.
And I planned either me or Gary one to video a little bit about that because it's very interesting to me how many kids are lined up shooting, and it's just a really cool sport. So I'm hoping to video some of that to share with you guys over on Walker Farm Fam because the National Archery in the Schools program is an amazing program, and I really love it. The only thing I hate about it is it's the same time as basketball season, and it makes me about lose my mind going here, there, and everywhere. But it's short, and the kids love it, and it's a very valuable tool, I believe, for them to learn and do. So it's well worth it. But hoping to get some footage of that for you guys so you can just see exactly how cool that program is.
Yeah, we made a video, I think, last year.
Year before. We didn't get to shoot last year.
The year before. So wow, that's a 2-year mark that we're coming up on. So we made a little short video when we were just starting YouTube, but we'll try to share with you guys Ranger in his very first archery meet. That's going to be pretty special. He's doing well. I don't go to the practices because I'm the parent that's not the coach.
Yes, he's doing well. I'm really proud of him. He hasn't been shooting long. We shot a little bit when he was younger, like Ransom's age, but nothing crazy, just a few times outside. So I tend, as a coach, to overcoach sometimes, especially on my own kids, because I see the things.
You're too hard on yourself right now. You're overcoaching.
I see the things and I so want to fix it and make it better, but I've learned that sometimes you just got to give it time. Allow them to fail several times and then we can fix it. Or my thing right now with archery is Ranger likes to go hunting with us. He likes to shoot his .22, but he's not big on bigger rifles, so he hasn't done much deer hunting. And so he's really liking archery. So my whole goal is for him to love it, fall in love with it, and want it to be something he wants to do, a lifelong skill. And if I pick at him and push him and things too much, then I might turn him off. So yellow is 9s and 10s, and that's a 10 is the best you can get. And so there's 2 yellows and there's 2 reds, 2 blues. In the target, he's been getting a lot of yellows and some blues, and every now and then a red. So I call that pretty good for just shooting for a month, month and a half. So he's been doing great, and because of that, I know in the future he's going to be doing awesome.
He definitely tries hard. I'm hoping on tournament day he doesn't push himself too hard, and psych himself out. He just needs to relax. Well,
he's really competitive is the other thing, so I've been trying not to. He puts enough pressure on himself for me not to put extra pressure because he does want to do really well. And for his age, he is doing really well.
Yeah. So that's taking up a lot of our time too. Also, freezer camp. We're progressing there slowly but surely.
It might be flower camp for a weekend.
Oh yeah, it might be flower camp in February. That'll actually be before we hang the pig in it, so that might work out.
Yeah, a local florist who's also a neighbor. We do chores when she's out of town. We take care of her farm. She needs a place to store extra flowers for Valentine's Day, and so we told her she can try out freezer camp.
Yeah, if it's available, she can have at it because we're not going to use it but only a couple of weeks out of the year otherwise. So that's keeping us busy here on the farm. Hopefully you guys are caught up over on Walker Farm Fam. We've been trying to stay consistent, but this time of year with the coaching and archery, if we miss a video every now and then, we're not gonna hold ourselves too hard to the flames or too hot because it's a lot right now.
It is.
It's a lot going on outside of YouTube. So but we'll try to share as much as possible. And as far as praying, so we do have a little bit of an update on the last prayer request that we sent out. I think that the little boy is going to get to come home. Is he home now?
Colton's son. He last I saw, he was in Oklahoma City area or Tulsa area. Oklahoma City, I think, for therapy. So that's closer to home. Coming home, I'm not really sure, but I know he's back in Oklahoma and getting closer to get to coming home all the time.
Yeah, and she said Colton. Colton's the one, if you remember when we went to Mays County Processing, he's the owner over there. And so this is his little boy. He's a twin, and there's under 2 years old, and one of the two that has this rare virus.
Yeah, that it traced back to from a raccoon, I guess. And I haven't heard the specifics on how it happened or how he got it or anything like that. But I can tell you that no raccoon will ever survive at Walker Farm Fam after seeing the torture that this little boy and his family has been through and how sick he's been. So it's some type of virus that is carried by raccoons. He somehow contracted it, and it took a long time, but they finally found out what it was, and so that they could treat him and things. But last I saw, he had lost his vision, and they're hoping that will come back. So it's been a scary journey for them. We shared over on our Facebook page a benefit that's going to be going on locally. If anybody's local and would like to go to that. But prayers is what they ask for more than anything. So a praise that he's got to come back closer to home and they know what's happening, but prayers for him to have complete healing.
Yeah, because there for a while they didn't have any clue what was going on, and that is even more scary. So thank you guys so much for praying along with us and going through the prayer request every week. We see your comments and we do appreciate that, and so does everybody else that's in need. So I think that's it for the day. I hope that you guys are having a good week. I hope you're staying warm wherever you're at. I know the cold front is like blasting half the country, but good news is it's about to warm up around here. We're going to have several days in the 50s and 60s.
I was going to say, when I was setting out the kids' clothes last night, I set out their clothes the night before because at 6:30 in the morning, not a good time to do that. So I set out their clothes the night before, and so I looked at the weather. I was like, "Whoo, it's going to be 50," and I was like, "Did I just really think that was warm?" But yeah, I do compared to what it has been.
Yeah, it's been. But like she said, there's people up north who are way worse than we are. We know, but we just want to whine. It makes us feel better.
We're just wimps.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for following us wimpy people along. We hope that you have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys.